Hi, my name's Evelyn Jimenez, and I'll be talking about taxable deductions for charity. If you're a volunteer who works for charity, you may be entitled to some tax breaks if you itemize deductions on your tax return. Unfortunately, they may not amount to as much as you think your generosity is worth, because donations to charity or cash or property generally are tax deductible for itemizers. It may seem like donations of something more valuable for many people, their time would be also deductible. However, no tax deduction is allowed for your value of the time you spend volunteering or the services you perform for a charitable organization. It doesn't matter if the service you provide requires significant skills and experience, such as construction, which a charity would have to pay dearly for if it went out and obtained it itself. You still don't get to deduct the value of your time. However, you potentially can deduct the out-of-pocket costs associated with your volunteer work. The basic rule, as with any charitable donation, to be able to deduct your volunteering expenses, the first requirement is that the organization be a qualified charity. You can check by using the IRS tax-exempt organization search at IRS. If the charity is qualified, you may be able to deduct out-of-pocket costs that are unreimbursed, directly connected with the services you are providing, incurred only because of your charitable work, and are not personal, living, or family expenses. Expenses that might qualify, a wide variety of expenses can qualify for the deductions. For example, supplies that you use for the activity may be deductible, and any of the costs of uniforms you must wear during the activity may also be deductible, if it is required and not something you would normally wear when you're not volunteering. Transportation costs to and from the volunteering activity generally are deductible, either the actual expense, such as gas cost, or 14 cents per charitable mile driven. The cost of entertaining others, such as potential contributors, are on behalf of charity may also be deductible. The cost of your own entertainment or meal isn't deductible. Deductions are permitted for away from home travel expenses while performing services for a charity. This includes out-of-pocket round-trip travel expenses, taxi fares, and other costs of transportation between the airport or the station and the hotel, plus lodging and meals. However, these expenses aren't deductible if there's a significant element of personal pleasure associated with your travel, or if your service for a charity involves lobbying activities. Record keeping is important. The IRS may challenge charitable deductions for out-of-pocket costs, so it's important to keep careful records and receipts. You must meet other requirements for charitable donations. For example, no charitable deduction is allowed for contribution of $250 or more unless you substantiate the contribution with a written acknowledgement from the organization. The acknowledgement generally must include the amount of cash, the description of any property contributed, and whether you got anything in return for your contribution. And in order to get charitable deduction, you must itemize. Under the Tax Cut and Jobs Act, fewer people are itemizing because the law significantly increased the standard deduction amounts. So even if you have expenses from volunteering that qualify for a deduction, you may not get the tax benefit if you don't have enough itemized deductions. If you have any questions about charitable deductions and volunteering expenses, please contact us. Thank you.